Hi everyone, it's your favorite horror homo, and this is Vermilion's View. And today we're going to be reviewing In a Violent Nature, directed by Tyler Nicholas. It's his directorial debut. So let's go ahead and see what's my final. You all know how I do this. I talk about the tone, the casting, and then also an overall review where I just get into the nitty-gritty detail. And then I also have a section listed to where it's spoiler alert to notify you, hey, you can stop watching. The tone of the movie gave me National Geographic, nature, in the Valley documentary with no commentary. I'm a type of person that I don't really like those type of movies. I don't like those type of shows. I don't like stuff like that. I didn't expect the entire movie to be like that. Um, the tone gave just video feel, video game. It was like you're playing a video game. I am not a gamer. I like games. I don't love them. So if you're a person that love games, maybe that this is for you. It just felt like, the grassery and the greenery and the clouds and the mosquitoes and the bugs and all that kind of stuff. It just felt like, it was just National Geographic. It was give. I'm sorry. You know, I, an indie National Geographic slasher film. That's an odd mixture. I don't know if that's what the director or the cast was going for, but that's what you got. When you put all that in there, that's what you can just pop on, and if you're with your friends or with your partner, and you're just popping on a slasher flick, and or you're just late night in your bed if you're reading or want something on the TV background noise. This is that. That's the vibe that it is through the entire movie. Casting, terrible. Brutal like the trailer. Are so bland and the dumbest cast that you can ever think of. No one had any survival skills whatsoever. Casting just gave. We're in theater, we're acting. I'm not saying Broadway, but they gave me like, oh, I'm an actor. I can tell. And that's not in a good way. It just didn't feel. Y'all know me. If you don't know me, you're getting to know me. I like things that are real, They were just acting very dumb. And can we stop casting and writing stuff like that? Don't nobody act like that now. And this is an updated movie. So dialogue is unnecessary chatter. 0 out of 10, along with the acting. Whenever you are trying to tell the story, the group of friends, it just doesn't land. It's hard to digest because the entire time we're staring at the slasher's back. We're just looking at him. So it's just like we're waiting for things to happen. I felt like the kills were creative, and I think that they were fun and inventive. I just wish we had a better interaction with him and them, meaning as when you witness fear or when you witness a killer and whenever you're the victim, I just wish there was more of something that we can play off. There's one scene that everyone's going to talk about that it kind of teeter-totters on how I feel like they should have focused the entire movie like that, or they should have built the movie around that. So you can definitely see where all their time and money went into exactly. But yeah, the kills were shocking. They were unique. It did feel like you were watching Michael Myers. It felt very Friday the 13th. Jason Voorhees down. We've seen movies like this before. A lot of people are like, oh, it's shot from the perspective of the killer, me included. But when I got to thinking, I said, oh, wait, we've seen this before from Freddy, but we haven't seen an entire movie like that. So I was like, okay, with that being said, if you're going to do something, mama, wear it out. Horror Homo likes chaos. All right, spoiler territory. Here we go. Too much walking. I don't know how many times I wrote that in my notes. The sound of crunch and grass, of him walking and the mosquitoes and bugs. I don't want to see that shit. Give me something to watch. I felt like a parrot. I felt like a mosquito. I felt like that was following him. I get that that's what y'all were going for and that's what y'all can do. Y'all could have done that within 20 or 30 minutes of the movie. You know, other movies have done this, as I mentioned, with a scene or two. But give us a few minutes of that and then go ahead and shot from the. They do break the rules a little bit. But like it's washed and teeter-tottered by him just walking 70% of the movie. He's walking. So my thing is, were y'all just trying to fill the runtime? They was like, no, y'all have to be 1 hour and 30 minutes. Y'all have to be. So they were like, well, girl, we don't have no more material. It's just Miss Thing walking around with girl, like, what are we going to do, Miss Thing? So, no, girl, no. So I need y'all, and how you can prevent and do this is, let's go ahead and shoot from in a cabin. Let's go ahead and shoot from, you know, if we were the locket. Let's go ahead and if we were a mosquito or a bug, or let's get just a different grasp or something, because when we do get to see the characters, we don't really get to know them. And I know that's not what it's about. We weren't supposed to get to know them, but the ending scene, the last 10, 15, 20 minutes of it, I hated it. I can't tell you how many times I'm yawning right now. That one, if he did too much walking, she did too much talking. It was too much yakety yak yak yak. And it didn't feel like where I thought that they were repeating themselves, but it was just, at some point, it was just words. I said, oh. And then she's in the car and she's playing music. She's like, honey, are you okay? Are you okay? Honey, talk to me or whatever. And I said, y'all are not. It's like y'all had an idea. Y'all had a great concept. And I said, that's all we need. And y'all spent all y'all money on camera angles. Shot from here, shot from here, shot from there, shot from there, shot, you know. And one kill scene, what we're going to get into, the yoga scene. So I thought it was cool that, you know, she had talking about yoga and talking about getting shirt shot or whatever, and he really did do that. And I did hear an audience member that was in the theater. I did hear someone in the theater gasp. And I even said, okay now. You know, because it was so like, you know, that's where you can tell they spent their time and energy and money on it. And it's like, that's great and all, but like, let's keep it going. After that, he just started walking and walking and walking, and he would go to where he would hear some. So did he hate noise? Did he, you know, hate noise and love the toys? He was a mama's boy. You can definitely tell this is the Friday the 13th ripped page from them. You can tell people miss those type of movies. It's just, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I yawn. Nature Valley, National Geographic documentary series. I'm good, love. When it got brutal, when it went there, it went there. He was wearing it out. But what I want him to do, what Michael Myers did and what Jason did and the other ones, you know, there was this sense of rage, this aggression, this power, this force, you know, and it was just when he would shove something in you and stick it in there and keep going and just like, you can just like feel it. And it was just like this force. So that's what I wanted. There was no personality. There was no fun. There was no nudity. Y'all are rated R. Y'all did give us the brutal gore. It did give me a little Terrifier, a little Hostile tease or whatever, a little Friday the 13th. But like, they didn't sprinkle it. They would do something and then we go back to walking. And it's not even a build up. I mean, it's just, I said, yeah. I just didn't know this is what I was just like, oh. I said, oh, okay, like what? Like, I was just like, oh, okay, that's what y'all going to work your thing. I think that the trailer is better than the movie. Because the trailer is intense, it has music, it has a score. When I mean to tell you this movie is quiet, yeah. So if you like stuff like that, by all means, buy a ticket, go. But for a theatrical release, I just can't tell you how many times I yawn. And I'm not yawn. I'm not yawning because I'm tired right now. Maybe I was tired watching it. Maybe we'll give it that. So I'm not gonna be too harsh. But even talking about it now, I kept thinking about Law Roach. I'm still fucking bored. Am I scared of him? Yes. If I saw him, I would be scared. Am I terrified of him? Yes. But it's just like, I felt like I was looking at the audience. I kept looking at the audience, people in the theater, and I was like, y'all still with me, right? Y'all still rocking with me, right? Like, I was just like, like, would I watch it again? Maybe. Would I rush to the theaters? No. Am I going to recommend it to people? No. Video game. As soon as I was in there with the first 5-6 minutes, I said, this is giving video game. It was cheesy. It was obviously fake. The bodies just looked extremely disposable. I know this is a cheap. I just felt like the ending was weird, a little bit unnecessary, along with the dialogue and chatter. I felt like, I did love the process of his costume change, of like how he found it and how he I liked that. I liked how we got to see him, discover that and put that on. But, it's just, I just wish he had a bit of a personality. Overall, I do appreciate it. It is cheesy at times. It's obviously fake. We do notice that. I feel like if they were going the A24 route, if we're going to go there, be artistically driven, go the whole 10 yards, don't push back any boundaries. This is one of those films that feel like when you go to a video store and you find this movie shoved in the back of the shelves or at the bottom of the bin, crowded with stuff on top of it. You're like, ooh, what's this? Or, ooh, I've heard about that. And then you watch it and you're like, oh. I felt like when I purchased the ticket, you purchased Ambien. Somebody sprinkled something over that for me. It's just one of those, dull, chill, relaxed, low-key killer slasher films. The cinematography was ingenious. It was incredible, imaginative sound design. I thought the sound was great. But, it's just not for me. The editing was brilliant. Would I rewatch this again? Maybe. Would I recommend this? No. My final score is going to be a 6 out of 10. I feel like that's a tad bit harsh, but it's just, like I said, I'm not a gamer, and I don't like those in a nature's valley. That's so funny. It's in a violent nature, but it felt like I was watching a National Geographic nature documentary. I that's just not what I'm into. The thing about slasher films, whose side are we on? Are we on the victim side or are we on the villain side? And there's a personality, there's a vibe, there's a feel. It was dry like the sand. There was no dampness, there was nothing, it's just, I just didn't expect no music, that. No sound, no score, none of that. The trailer had all that intensity and power that I thought that I was going to get. And when you get here, it's one of those, that's not what you're signing up for. You're seeing a beautiful, greenery, sun, grassy, flowery, leafy, forest, wood, you know, terribly casted, acted goulash. And it's like, okay. It's slow paced. It's a slow burner with, I don't want to say sprinkled stuff. It's just, and then what happens, it's like, so that's all I have to say for it. I do want to hear from y'all though. Did you watch it? What do you think about it? Is it brilliant or is it boring? Do you want to see more movies like this? Or do you feel like this movie should have been half the point of view of him and half the point of view of somebody else or something else? And you know my Twitter, you know my social medias. I'm going to post them here as well. This has been a fantastic Vermilion's View. I'm so happy I have y'all's attention again. Until next time, Horror Homo is out. Thank you.